All right. So here I am. I am in technically my spare bedroom, which is my TV room. And so we were going over the astronomy solar system unit when we were leaving school before we got sent home and we can't come back, at least anytime soon. So I have to move that because those types of activities require access to things that normal people do not typically have in a random place in their house. But chemistry, on the other hand, chemistry is something that we can be having to do it. We can do it anywhere for any reason. And so because of that, we're going to go ahead and move on to chemistry for a couple weeks. And then we'll move back to the solar system and the planet projects. And so you guys can build your planet rovers, your robots when we get back. So what we're doing is the first thing is if we're going to do chemistry, you got to start from the smallest little tiny little bit of something, and that is what's called an atom. Now, if you look here, this atoms are all around us. Atoms build everything, and everything that you can touch, anything that you can feel, anything that you can see is made up of atoms, anything that has matter. Now, they are the building blocks of life. And as we go through this, there are different types. So we're going to be building atoms this week. And then maybe near the end of the week, maybe we can start building some molecules. And that sounds like fun. So we'll have a good time. But I have to try to keep this within like a 10-minute thing so that I don't go overboard. Because if you do know me and you are in my class, I go nuts when it comes to talking. I love to talk. And I run over everything. The bell means nothing to me. So, periodic table of elements. Periodic table of elements identifies the different types of atoms. So if you look here, we have hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. This week, we'll be looking at making sure that we can build hydrogen, that we can build carbon, we can build oxygen, and some of the smaller atoms, because there's only so many materials that you have at your house, and there's only so many things that could fit on my ceiling fan. So it's very important that we keep those down to a minimum. Now, as we go through this, you are made up of different types of atoms. So you yourself, since you can touch yourself and you're a physical being, you have mass, you are also made up of atoms. Down here, what is an atom? Atoms are building blocks. If you want to create a language, you'll need an alphabet. If you want to create or build a molecule, you're going to need atoms from the different types of elements. Elements are the alphabet of the language of molecules. Now that sounds very poetic, but all that means is that just like when you're building Legos, you're building any type of project, you need pieces, you need components, and those components are what your atoms are. Now, this second paragraph here, don't stress about it. We're going to go on to the next one because that in of itself is just way too complicated for its own good. Are there pieces of matter smaller than an atom? Sure. Atoms are made up of smaller and even smaller particles of matter. However, those smaller particles don't have the property of an element. So electrons in a gold atom are the same as electrons in a neon atom. In chemistry, we like to study atoms because the universe revolves around the properties of elements, not necessarily the properties of an electron or a proton, because since they are the basic building blocks of atoms, they're the three things that make up atoms, that if you configure them or you put them in a certain way and you build them into an element, then you'll see it. Don't worry. Because as you like with us, we introduce a little topic. That's what's going to happen today. We're introducing the topic. Tomorrow, it's going to be amazing. We're going to be using balloons and ping pong balls on my ceiling fan to make sure you understand this concept. All right. So say you have a bar of gold. You know the bar of gold is made of matter because everything is made of matter. Because it is pure gold, there are only gold atoms in the bar. If you had one atom of gold in your hand, it would have the same properties of every other gold atom in the bar. But what if you had one electron from a gold atom? That electron would not have the properties of gold anymore. So say you just separated that electron from the gold atom, then the electron itself was not gold. Okay, it's what makes up gold. It's kind of like a cake. It would be just an electron doing electron stuff. The atom is the smallest unit that has properties of that, whatever it is. So if you take out a proton from that same bar of gold, well, it's just a proton. It's not actually gold anymore. As you're looking at common elements, you have hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen. Now, how you combine them and how complex those systems get is essentially what you're actually making. So if you're looking at water, water has two hydrogens with these two red balls right here, and then one oxygen. Now, hydrogen peroxide, the stuff that sometimes your mom or dad puts on you to make sure you clean out a cut or clean something, hydrogen peroxide, on the other hand, has two hydrogen atoms, which is what that H2 means, and then two oxygen atoms, which is what those two red balls are, and what that O2 means. As you get more complicated, you got my favorite, glucose. Now, glucose is crazy complicated, as you can see. See how complicated it got? Ooh, look at that. If you look, it has 6 carbon, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen. And if you count all those little balls and all those different colors, those are correct. I did just to make sure before I started this video. Now, if you go to propane, on the other hand, the stuff that you use at the grill and you're taking your hamburgers and I need to make dinner. So propane, on the other hand, has 3 carbon and 6 hydrogen. So as you can see, you have the 3 gray, and then you have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, ooh, that one lied to us, but it looks similar to that, so you'll be fine. Now, as we come down here, common elements can build very different molecules. So those 3 elements we talked about, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, make all of those different things. So it makes water, it makes propane, it makes like the peroxide that you put, you have your little bottle, the little brown bottle in your kitchen or in your bathroom, all that stuff. So as you're looking at it, they only have those 3 elements in it, but they make ridiculously different things based on how they're put together. So like I said, we'll work on that this week. Let's look at the alphabet idea again. If you read a book, you will find words on each page. Letters make up those words. In English, we only have 26 letters, but we can make up thousands of words, and gosh knows how ridiculous some of those words actually come out to be, how complicated they are. In chemistry, you are working with almost 120 elements, and when you combine them, you can make millions of different molecules. So there you go. Molecules are groups of atoms in the same way that words are groups of letters. An A will always be an A no matter what word it's in. So you're good there. A sodium atom will always be a sodium atom no matter what molecule it's in. So while atoms from different elements have different masses and structures, they are all built with the same parts. Electrons, protons, and neutrons are the basic subunits for all atoms across the universe. So we haven't found anything else. Now, if you do find something else, you please let me know. We'll patent that. We'll make it awesome for ourselves. From simple to complex. Now, this is where your activity goes today. Now, every day in science, I would like you to do a small activity for me. I'm not grading it, so don't freak out about it. I just want you to do it the best way you can do it. Okay, so if you can get a dry erase marker and do it on your mirror in the bathroom to show your parents, feel free. If you want to send me a picture of it, even better. You got a poster at home, you have an old poster you want to write on the back, sounds great. You have a piece of paper, do it on a piece of paper. You have a device or a tablet or a computer or a Chromebook at home, do it on there. However you choose to do it, you could do it on a slideshow, you could do it on a Word document, you could do it on the back of a gum wrapper if that's all you got, because I don't care as long as you're trying your best, because that's all that matters to me is that you do your best. Now, from simple to complex. Your assignment for today is to talk about how things go from simple to complex. Small parts combine to form larger structures. If you want to do a little more thinking, imagine the smallest particle of matter. Super tiny subatomic particles are used to create parts of atoms. Protons, neutrons, and electrons can then organize to form atoms. Atoms are then used to create molecules around us. As we've just learned, there are there's almost 120 elements that can be found in molecules that we know. Smaller molecules can work together to build macromolecules because they're just big. Macro means big. It just goes on. Everything you see or imagine is built from something else. Now, here's where your project comes in. We're a project-based learning program. If you're watching this video, that means you're a project-based learning student. So get her done. As you said, you can start really small. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take this list of words right here. This beautiful, wonderful list of words. I'll be linking the I'll be putting the link of this webpage on the description. So if you can't see it in the video, you can feel free to go ahead and go online and you can find it yourself. It's at the bottom of this page. What I want you to do is I want to take a picture. Try that again. I want you to take each word and I want you to place a picture next to that word. And I want it to represent what it is and your understanding of how this system works. So when it comes to particles of matter, which is right here, I can't believe I just pointed. It's not like you could see that. Okay, there we go. No finger, more mouse. Particles of matter, you can put what? Put a picture of what you think an electron looks like. Proton, neutron, something. Do you need to copy and paste it from, the internet? You can if you want to. But you might want to draw it. Like I said, the only people they're going to see it are the people that you show it to. So don't stress over getting it right or getting it wrong or doing whatever. You all need to just do your best. Then you go to atoms. Find what an atom looks like. Draw it or copy and paste it into a Word document or a Google Doc, whatever it is you got. When you go to macromolecules, look up what those are. Those are cool looking. Then we have cell organelles. You can look at those. Go into cells, tissues, organs. You want to put a heart in there? Put a heart. That's the easiest one. Or put a brain, or when it comes to systems, put a skeleton, just like you would at Halloween. Down here, an organism. Maybe you got a dog. At this point, after about a week by myself, I wish I had a dog. Down here, populations. That would be kind of cool. Figure out what picture that would be good with. Ecosystems. We've all studied that, especially us middle schoolers. We've been there. Biomes. Desert biome. Ocean biome. Forest biome. Whatever, which one you want to use. Fine with me. Planets. My students in particular, you guys, you know your planets. So you could figure it out. We even built a motorized solar system a couple weeks ago, and we flew planets off by accident. It was on we had a DC motor. Anyway, I digress. You know what those are. Systems and stars. Oh, Big Dipper. Leo. Whatever constellation you like. Put it in there. Galaxies. That would be a fun research. Find what a galaxy looks like. And then finally, the universe. And now whoever can figure out what a universe would look like, that's awesome. Use your imagination. Use your ability to pay attention. That'd be great. I would love to see it. Now, that is our 10-minute science video for today. Tomorrow, like I said, there will be balloons, there will be ping pong balls, there will be dental floss, and there will be my ceiling fan. Then we'll try to figure out what we can do about your house to get this experiment at your house. So, this is the first science video. I will learn how to pronounce things a little better. I didn't realize how many times I stuttered until I did this video. Thank you very much for paying attention, and we are going to be studying atoms this week.